All right, let's dive into a story about extraterrestrial contact, but maybe not the one you're expecting. This isn't about a dramatic rescue from the sky. Instead, think of it as a handover of responsibility, like a cosmic relay race where humanity is finally being passed the baton. So let's just throw out the whole alien saviors idea for a minute. The big question we're digging into here is this. What if the whole point isn't for some advanced beings to swoop in and fix all our problems? What if it's to give us the tools and the insights to finally fix them ourselves? Okay, so how does this whole thing start? According to the material we're looking at, it's not with flying saucers landing on the White House lawn. It's way more subtle. It's about information, ideas being seeded into our collective consciousness. A positive alliance of ETs is supposedly providing the blueprints for a better future. So let's meet the team, shall we? First up, we have the Andromedans. Think of them as the galactic strategists. They're not barking orders, they're handing over the high-level map, the big picture. You know, how timelines work, the ins and outs of galactic politics, all with this one huge caveat. Freedom has to be chosen. It can't just be gifted to you. Next, we've got the Pleiadians. Their whole deal is about the heart. They're supposedly transmitting the kind of emotional intelligence and compassion we need to heal all that deep-seated trauma. You know, the stuff that gets passed down for generations. It's all about dismantling those systems that run on fear, kind of like the emotional software update we desperately need. And rounding out the team, the Sirians. Now, they're the ones bringing the tech specs. But don't just think new gadgets and gizmos. This is way deeper. We're talking about the science of the subtle body. How to use sound, geometry, and frequency for things like new healing technologies, and even creating protective energetic fields. So you've got all this incredible high-level information flooding in, but how does it actually land? Where does it go? Well, the story goes that the first stop on this cosmic relay is the intuitive, receptive part of our humanity, an archetype that's called the feminine. And this isn't happening to just one person in some grand vision. It's a global thing, coming through all these different channels. We're talking about dreams that feel less like dreams and more like living, breathing maps. Or that gut feeling, that deep intuition that cuts right through all the social static. Even just sensations in your body telling you what's true and what's not. And the really wild part? People in small groups all over the world start realizing they're all picking up on the exact same patterns. And this is so important. Receiving this information isn't a passive thing. You don't just sit there and absorb it. The source material calls this role midwifery. It's this active, powerful process of taking these huge, abstract, cosmic ideas and, well, birthing them into a form that the rest of the world can actually start to grasp and work with. Okay, so once these insights are birthed, they can't just hang out as cool ideas. They have to be brought down to earth, tested, and made real. This is all about prepping for that big moment, the handoff of the baton in the relay. And there's a pretty clear process for this. First, you receive the download. Then you test it. You run it through this simple but powerful filter. Does this idea increase freedom? Does it promote compassion? Does it honor the earth? If it's a yes across the board, then you translate it into tools we can actually use. Things like stories, rituals, even small-scale prototypes for new ways of living. And only then, when it's grounded and ready, is the invitation sent out. So who is this invitation for? It's a call to the masculine archetype for a pretty fundamental shift. It's about moving away from those old, tired patterns of domination, control, and secrecy, and stepping into a whole new paradigm, one based on guardianship, real courage, and clear, precise, transparent action. And this quote just nails it, doesn't it? We are not asking you to disappear. We are asking you to stand up in a different way. This isn't about tearing something down or rejecting it. It's a deep, profound invitation to transform, to use that incredible strength in service of life itself, not for ego or control. And this is where it all comes together. This is the final lap of the relay. So what actually happens when this invitation is accepted? We start to see these incredibly courageous, super precise actions that begin to dismantle the old systems, right from the inside. Let's look at a concrete example. Imagine an engineer working on a satellite network that's actually designed for mind control, but he's got these Sirian schematics. So what does he do? He doesn't blow it up. No, he subtly retunes it. He transforms a weapon of oppression into a tool that actually helps balance the entire planet's nervous system. Genius? Or how about this one? A military officer gets an order to take part in a false flag operation. But, guided by that Andromedan principle of being a guardian, he refuses. But he doesn't just go down in flames. He acts strategically. He leaks the proof to a network that knows how to tell the story in a way that completely defangs the fear that operation was supposed to create. And it's not all just about disruption. It's about building something new. So here, you have a whole group of mayors. They take those Pleiadian ideas about relationships and community, and they literally rewrite their city charters. They make relational well-being an official metric of success. Think about that. It forces every decision, from corporations to city planning, to align with the health of people and the planet. So when all this starts happening, what's the end game? What's the result of this relay being run successfully? It's not just a few nice changes here and there. It's the birth of a whole new way of being for humanity, one that can actually sustain itself. What emerges is this amazing new alliance. You've got the positive ETs acting as guides, providing the high-level maps and warnings. You have the human feminine as the receiver and translator, weaving these new codes into our culture. And then you have the human masculine as the builder, taking those principles and turning them into real-world structures, laws, and technologies. Every single part is absolutely essential. And at this point, something really interesting happens. The ETs, they start to pull back. Why? Because their job is done. Humanity is finally learning to self-regulate. Our collective energy field, instead of buzzing with the chaos of trauma and fear, starts to glow with this coherent, creative intention. We're finally learning how to be our own guardians. And that really brings us to the core takeaway of this whole story. The entire narrative flips on its head. We stop looking to the skies waiting for someone to come save us, because the baton, it's already in our hands. The question is no longer, who will save us? The real question, the one we all have to answer now, is how are we going to guard what is sacred?